when your legs don't work like they used to before. And I can't sweep you off of your feet. Will your mouth still remember the taste of my love? Will your eyes still smile from your cheeks? And darling, I will be loving you till we're 70. And baby, my heart could still fall as hard at 23. And I'm thinking about how people fall in love in mysterious ways. Maybe just a touch of a hand. Well, me, I fall in love with you every single day. And I just wanna tell you I am. So honey, now take me into your loving arms. Kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars. Place you in on my beating heart. Oh, I'm thinking out loud that maybe we found love right where we are. And maybe we found love right where we are. Maybe we found love where we are. Maybe we found love right where we are.
Yo, what's going on, good people? Glad to be here with you. We are excited. We're coming in hot on a really amazing show. Now, I'm telling you in advance, this is going to be a show full of spoilers. So if you have not seen Love is Blind, you need to bounce, because especially if it's something you want to see, you need to bounce, because this is going to be full of spoilers. Mm-hmm. But I think you can watch the show today, and it doesn't matter, because you're going to enjoy it no matter what. So before we get into any of that, listen, I'm Lloyd Spence.
I'm Kenyatta Spence.
And we together are I Still Do. We didn't even rehearse that. That's off the top. That's 23 years right there. Know what I'm saying? Off the top. No rehearsal. Okay. Listen, we got a good show for y'all. I'm excited. I'm excited about tonight or today because we got a lot to talk about. So we have been watching, me and Mama Noise, we don't watch reality shows. That ain't our thing. No, we don't. But we stumbled onto this amazing show that's basically a sociological experiment called Our show's called I Still Do, called Love is Blind. And so last year or 2 years ago in the pandemic, we watched it. We were like, wow, this is really kind of a weird little exciting experiment. Mm-hmm. So we enjoyed it then. Now we're coming back in the second season, and we reviewed it 2 weeks ago, and now we're coming to review the last episodes of Love is Blind, and it was good. It was an interesting ending to the season. I can't wait to see how the post game, and they're going to do a reunion show, so I'm curious to see what some of the afterthoughts are, if they're similar to the thoughts that we're going to give to you guys today. But we want to talk about it because we think it's a really important it's really important lessons that can be learned from this show. If you are trying to build and maintain a successful marriage, this would be a show that we would recommend to you guys to be able to watch and have some really good discussions with your mate or a group of people that you're connected with. You guys can have some really good discussions centered around this show. So without further ado, are you ready, Mama Noise?
I think so. I keep thinking about the show, and I think about what if married couples had this exercise of just being able to speak through the wall and not be able to see one another and just have those hard conversations. And maybe that would help, them communicate better, maybe help them to understand better, because you don't see the reactions of the person. You simply are just listening. And that's so paramount, the listening part of what they did in the pod. Now,
Well, to your point, you see the vast difference between having to sit in front of a wall and lock in and focus and really hear each other versus what happens when they get outside the wall and they're having to live together or they're having to do whatever, and they got to interact with one another on a tight basis. I feel like we're hot on this lighting. We're hot. There we go. Okay, that's better. I just be trying to make you look good, boo. That's all. I be trying to make you look good.
Thank you.
Oh, baby. Okay. We focus now. All right. So anyway, I like the fact that they show both sides of the communication. And what's interesting, I also get the poetic licensing and the juxtaposition of the wall representing the barrier that keeps us from seeing in communication versus the wall being taken away, and now there's the juxtaposition of what is being heard or seen in communication. So it's an interesting dynamic. I get it. I get the dynamic of it, and it's very fascinating. So we're gonna go through some. First of all, we're gonna go through the first 4 episodes, or the last 4 episodes, and then the finale. So, when we last left you guys, the couples were moving in with each other, and the couples' names. Let me pull them up again. They are Mallory and Salvador. That's our Hispanic-based couple. Both of them are Hispanic. Deepti and Sheikh. That's our Indian-based couple, but very Americanized Indian. Natalie and Shane. Natalie and Shane is the only, I guess they're the only interracial couple.
Right.
Natalie is Asian, Natalie Lee, and Shane Jaron, I think is his last name. So Shayna and Kyle, which that was their dynamic was he was an atheist and she is a Christian.
Right.
And then finally, the final two were Ayana and Jarrett, which is our only black couple. That is black on black.
But what was ironic about them is that both of them, I mean, for it to be a black couple, I appreciated that they both had both parents.
Well, we'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to all that in a minute. We're setting up the thing.
Oh, okay.
All right. And then the final one was Danielle and Nick. Danielle and Nick just, I don't know, regular Wahite couple, I guess. I don't want to say regular. That seems mean, but they were just Wahite couple. White girl.
Well, yeah, okay, but you said not.
Yeah, we're going to get into the dynamics first. So where do you want to start? I think we should say Ayana and Jared for last.
Okay. Well, what was the one? Oh, okay, Danielle and Nick. Both of them experienced a lot of. They come from a background of having lost a lot of weight.
Yes. Danielle more than Nick, though, because Danielle had lost like 70, 80 pounds.
Yeah.
But her insecurities were humongous.
Oh, my God.
And here's what's interesting about Danielle. Danielle was a very good picture of what happens when people lose a lot of weight physically, but not mentally. And so I think a lot of times in these situations, people will change their outward appearance in the hopes that their outward changes will also give them inner confidence. But that's not necessarily true. Kieta, people don't always get confidence from changing their outward appearance.
Well, I always say that just because you change the outside doesn't mean the inside has changed.
Most times it's what it means. I think most times you don't change the outside. You don't change the inside at all. All you've done was change the outside, which is, it goes back to the old saying, just because you put lipstick on a pig don't make it, attractive all of a sudden. It's still a pig, So Natalie, or Danielle, I'm sorry, is a great example of that, because she came into the pods and in this relationship and engagement with a ton of insecurities. Like, she never let go of if I can say it this way, this is offensive, but I think it's accurate to what we're talking about. She never let go of the fat girl. Never.
Oh, no.
She was forever the fat girl.
She would continually let everyone know that she had lost so much weight. And, man, her insecurities was like eating her up. I mean, every time you turn around, it was, oh, so you don't want to be with me. What? So you're just going to leave. What are you talking about? The man never said he was leaving.
Right.
He never said the negative stuff. It seemed like it was all rolling around in her head, but she just continued to speak to him like, every little moment or every little situation they had was, oh, okay. Oh, you want to, and it's like, she wanted to cry and stuff. I was like, what is, this girl was she
had a lot of struggle in that area.
A big ball of emotion. I mean.
And I'm going to tell you something. Nick was the right guy for the assignment, because he countered her deep rooted insecurities with a lot of patience. And I'm going to tell you something. There were times where I could tell his patience was running out, because he was like, "What are you talking about? Why are you so angry?" But he was still staying there, and despite the levels of frustration and insecurity that she would take him to, he would roll with her. Yeah. She would. Well, not just blind dates, Anthony. She was reliving everything. Like, she had insecurities on a blind date. She had insecurities about, I think she had been engaged once and it ended bad.
Well, and her appearance.
It was just everything. She just was a ball of confusion. It was just, and I'll be honest with you, as a consumer, watching her got a little frustrated. Like, ma'am, if you can't pull it together. Because I was actually, at first I was like, Nick, I don't know, bro. You might need to bounce on this because this is a lot.
Let me just say, men out there that have this type of patience, I commend you. Because, I mean, he would have been justified in saying this is not going to work.
Why you say justified? Why you say that?
I mean, it seemed like the more he tried, the more she continued to keep. I mean, when she walked out on that argument, standing by the water at the hotel and just left. Not we gonna talk about it to try to figure out what the problem is. She just said this is just not gonna work. It's just not gonna work, and just left.
But I think when she was saying it's not gonna work, I think for her, it was hard for her to believe that someone could love her like she emotionally and mentally was.
Okay.
And that's why she kept saying, this is not going to work. This is not going to work. Because in her mind, she was thinking, there's no way this man is going to stick it out with me and love me through my issues. And I'm be honest with you, I was thinking, there's no way this man is going to stick with her and love her through her issues. And I thought that all the way until they went to the bachelor party.
I'm going to tell you, her mama and them.
Yeah, even her mama said that. You be sabotaging stuff.
You be sabotaging stuff. You are the queen of self-sabotage.
Yeah, it's bad when your mama call you out.
I'm saying, and they like, you willing to do this for the long haul?
Yeah.
Bruh, are you sure?
Yeah.
I just want you to know, we all know. And it's like, dang, okay. Now, granted, your family gonna put you on blast, but to know that he still was like, even with his own mom and them.
Yeah, everybody was like, bro, are you sure?
His mom and them was like, I don't know if it does.
Everybody asked. His brother, his best friends, both the mamas. Everybody was like, bro, are you sure? So, did Danielle and Nick make it? The answer is, yes, they did. Yes, they did. They got to the altar. And Nick, listen, much respect to Nick, because at first, like I said, up until the bachelor party, I thought Nick was going to be like, I can't do it. Mm-hmm. But when he got to the bachelor party and defended his girl, his fiance, the way that he did against his friends, that let me know, Nick's serious. Yeah, Nick is real. He really is going to ride this out. Now, he ain't happy with where it is because it was a lot. I'm telling you, she was emotional, man, and there were times where you just was like, dude, you just better divorce now than later. So,
well, and to be clear, a lot of them, once they got to the little meetings, like when they got to the bar that night, where everybody was there, and it seemed like that's where everybody got the place they got to, and then they said what they really wanted to say. Like, that's where the first place where Dipkey.
Well, we'll get to that in a minute.
Well, I'm saying different ones were saying about who they were engaged to. Like, I don't know if it's gonna work. I don't know if this is gonna work. And you just like, okay, you're divulging this information here. So either you riding for me here, or you.
But Nick was consistent all the way through.
That's what
he was consistent all the way through. He never publicly let it be looked at from anybody outside of his like inner circle to where it looked like he would leave her. So I think when he defended her the way he defended her in front of his boys, I was like, okay, they're gonna be all right. So shout out to Nick and Danielle. That is a check for making it to the other side. So would you say
that that's important?
What's that?
As a man, if you are defending your woman to your friends,
not defending. I wouldn't say defending. What I would say is, I think guys, you can tell a guy is serious about a girl when he stamps her approval in front of everybody. When he doesn't have certain people he'll say her name around or represent her, or she can represent him, when he is open to putting her in front of everybody. And he's unashamed about that,
okay,
or unnerved about it. Like he ain't like nervous about it. I think that's when you know it's starting to shape into something very authentic and real. So, so which brings us to Natalie and Shane.
Okay,
Natalie and Shane, from the start,
the interracial couple.
Yeah, they were the only interracial couple, Asian young lady and Wahite man. They represent each other right from the start. They were very, you're my girl. I'm in love with you. You my bestie. You're my best friend. You're a real, whatever. So I mean, that's what they were doing. So
okay.
But I'm gonna tell you something, in my humble opinion.
Okay.
When they were riding so hard for each other, I started to question the whole thing. I was like, okay, why you got to keep telling everybody that's your best friend? First of all, it's not your best friend.
I mean,
you've known her an hour and a half.
Listen to me. It was thrown around so flippantly that I was like, it almost had no weight.
Right.
Because everybody there was like, oh, you're my best friend. I said, wait a minute. Let's be clear. Y'all just
met.
I mean,
like y'all ain't been together but like 3 weeks.
Right. So I'm saying, to be the best.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that you can't fall in love. I'm not saying you can't feel, but
I'm not even saying you can't want to marry her.
Right.
I'm saying your best friend.
That she's like, all I think about, all I did, and I'm going. But then, as soon as y'all get in an argument, and I think you have said that since day one, you know who you dealing with, or what type of person that you're in a relationship with. When that person gets angry,
when you start to see their arguments,
because and anybody can smile and stuff and laugh and stuff at that particular time, but when they get mad,
and what was interesting about this couple, Natalie and Shane, their arguments were very, very specific. Like, he was very frustrated with how she would kind of, like, she would say little offhanded stuff, but she tried to pass it off like she's joking. Like, are you fishing for compliments? Like, tell me, you think I'm pretty? He would ask her, which is real band. But he would ask.
No, but when he raised his shirt up and she said, pull it back down.
Well, hold on. Yeah. Well, you've been jumping all over the place. But yes, well, the first one was, she asked, was you pretty? And she said, what, are you fishing for compliments? And he was like, I'm not. I just would like to be appreciated. And so he got angry about that. And then what Kieta said, he raised his shirt up on the beach with the other guys. Everybody was like, take your shirts off. And she's like, I've seen it. You can put it back down.
Dang.
And I was like, dang. And so she came in with hardcore on a couple of different compliments, or not non-compliments, actually, which was like kind of telling, because it said, okay, do you really respect me? Or
I mean, I didn't really see it until they went back to it and like took,
see, I saw it in the moment.
Not in real time. I didn't see it in real time. It was when they took the snippets of each thing and then brought it all together. You like, dang. I mean, the time she hit him and he was like, dang, he's like, why the violence? Y'all just met each other.
Yeah, not a hit for real, but just like a little, it was a playful love tap, but it was like, why are you hitting him though? Like, that's, I don't know. It was a lot going on. So they kept going. They tried to live together. They found out also, there's another sign for those single people that are watching this or going to go back and watch this. they had very different worlds as it relates to their understanding of how to build a life together. So she's very meticulous when it comes to finances.
Frugal.
When it came, she was frugal, whatever. He's very free. Now, that's not a deal breaker. It doesn't have to be a deal breaker. But she was telling him, oh, you're going to have to change. And he was feeling like, well, damn, I got to change. You ain't got to do nothing.
Oh, yeah.
So he was feeling the way about that. So fast forward to the bachelor party. And now I will say this about Shane. Shane, regardless of all of that was going on with them personally, he rode hard for Natalie. He was like, that's my girl. I love her. I'm going to marry her. She gives me the feels. That's my best friend, blah, 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 blah. But the night of the bachelor party, and this is not seen on the show, but that you hear it the next day when they're about to have the marriage, because the bachelor party is the day before the wedding. Shane and Natalie get into a nasty fight. I mean, nasty. To the point where the next time you see Natalie the next day, she's still in tears. And she said that Shane said, you're the worst decision I ever made, and I shouldn't have done this, and maybe we need to go our separate ways. Those are like three of the biggest things she remembered from the fight. Well, and she said somebody hated.
Yeah, he hated her.
He hated her or something like that. So
the same person who said I can't imagine my life without her. I'm so in love, so best friend.
Yeah.
So he was just saying all the key words to make somebody go, oh, well, then this must be legit.
Right. Now, full disclosure, he was drunk. He was drunk from the bachelor party. But whatever happened in that argument put a final doubt in Natalie that she really couldn't shake. And it would. Somebody tell you they hate you and you're the worst decision they ever made. I mean, that's hard to come back from.
And when a person's drunk, I've always been told that is the most honest time
it can be.
Person is. I don't believe that somebody likes to build up a whole narrative of untruth while they're intoxicated.
Yeah.
It seems like that's when all this honesty comes out, where you're just like, wow, tell me what you really think.
Well, he laid it out. He definitely laid it out. And the irony of it is that the next couple that we're going to discuss, which this is going to be a short discussion, Shayna and Kyle didn't make it at all. And the number one reason, now, the stated reason they didn't make it was Shayna kept telling Kyle, well, you're an atheist and I'm a Christian and this ain't going to work. But the real reason Shayna and Kyle didn't make it was because Shayna wanted to be with Shane. And she was trying to break Shane and Natalie up. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that stands out in that is that Shayna told Shane, your marriage is a joke. It's not real.
She did
and if you think you are compatible, you fooling yourself. Shayna told him that. Well,
but I thought she was being a hater, and she did not want to see his marriage succeed.
Well, she didn't want that. She definitely didn't want that. But let me ask you a question: do you think Shayna was right? Do you think that their marriage their engagement was a joke, and that they were trying to convince themselves that they were compatible, as opposed to being actually compatible? Do you think they were just kind of faking fun?
I don't think so.
You think what they had was real?
Faking, because when they both went to each other's parents, and Shane said that he does not bring women home to meet his mama.
Right.
And his mama was the queen of his world.
Right.
So there's that. And then Natalie. Natalie, now she's a little different because she didn't tell her parents anything.
Right.
And now, granted, she did bring him home to meet her parents, and they was looking at her sideways, but her father was very he was welcoming, he was inviting, he was telling her mama, slow down, let's listen to what she's got to say, see how she feels, let's meet him, let's talk to him, and see and see how things go with him, and let's go from there. So I really thought, now from the beginning, I did feel that there was a bunch of fakeness going on in the early parts of the pod, because I felt like Shane was leading old girl Shayna on.
Right.
When he, every time he come in, I just want to talk to you. You're just so easy to talk to, blah, blah, blah. He was doing all that with Shayna. But then he'd get with Natalie and be like, I've searched all my life for someone like you to spend the rest of my life with, blah, blah, blah. So it was like, okay, either Shayna was more of his lust and Natalie was more of his love.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you, first of all, let's start with this. I think Shane is wildly immature. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if Shane is really, truly ready for marriage, because he still kind of got like a frat boy kind of vibe, and he still kind of want to hang out with the bros and all that kind of crazy. Yeah. So I don't know if he was 100% ready for this, the totality of what all of this was going to involve. Mm-hmm. Now, having said that, I do think in a very short amount of time, Natalie kind of amped up his maturity. She showed him, hey, bro, if you're going to be in a marriage, it's got to look like X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. And so that part I'll give them credit for. I do think they connected deeply. I just think it was hard for Natalie to penetrate the immaturity that Shane had. Now, to be fair, I think Natalie had some immature places as well, because of the way she didn't understand what true communication looked like and what it means to affirm your husband and all of those type of things. She didn't get that at all. So I think there was a disconnect in those regards. And honestly, I feel like Shane and Natalie had like just a little bit of counseling, they probably could have made it. However, they did not make it. And it was Natalie that called off the wedding this time. She couldn't get past the You thought that was shocking?
Shocked because all she kept talking about is, I'm so in love with him. I'm just so in love with him. I mean, she was really like, I don't know if she kept saying it like you said earlier, trying to convince herself.
I think she was. I think Natalie was in love with the idea of all of this. And she was like, I found a guy to make this thing that I want in my head become a reality. But but truly understanding how to make the marriage work and how to empower your man and how to help him grow. Because men, listen, here's the reality, ladies. Okay. Most men come to the marriage not really prepared to be married.
Okay.
Like we kind of have a concept of what it's supposed to be, but we really don't have the whole concept yet. Okay. And so we have to kind of be nurtured into it. Like we have a concept of life things. Like we may know how to pay our bills and to budget and stuff like that. But truly understanding how to blend two lives together, we don't really have that down yet.
Okay.
So I think it would have been nice for her to help him along with a little more patience, but she didn't have it. She didn't have the tools for that. So they didn't make it. Natalie and Shane didn't make it. And we already said Shayna and Kyle didn't.
I think you're right. She was in love with the
idea
of marriage. But man, I mean, you just made it so clear that, because now I'm thinking it's almost like she was competing with, once she found out that he was saying something to Shayna, it was like, a competition between Shayna, like, I'm gonna get the man.
You know what? Let's go Deep T and Shake next, because I what you just said kind of applies to Deep T and Shake.
Really?
I think so, because I think Shake is a prideful dude.
Oh yeah.
Deeply immature.
And an only child. Selfish.
And I think Tamika, I'm gonna read your comment in just a second. I think he came into this as in a competitive mindset first, and then he was going to get into some other stuff as the thing unfolded. But let me get to Tamika's comment, because Tamika She said she disagrees. Okay, she thinks Shane is on some form of narcotic, and he said, "Well, listen, Tamika, I can't say you're wrong because Shane had a weird energy.
I was gonna say
he had a weird energy. He was weird,
always rubbing his head and you know like he couldn't sit still.
Yeah, he was weird, man. He had a weird thing going on. So it might come out. Excuse me. It might come out that Shane is I don't know. He on that shit. He might be on that shit. You on that shit, ain't you?
I'm just saying. It was a little.
He had a weird energy. He did. He really did.
Like do you think I'm pretty? What?
It was, well, not even just that. It was just, even the way he reacted to the breakup was like, dude, it's just a lot, man. I didn't have a lot to say. I did that.
What do you want me to say?
What do you want me to say? F. And I was like, bro, what's wrong with you? Like,
why don't you, if this is your idea, why didn't you run after?
But I also speak Wahite. So I think some of that might have been Wahite.
Okay. So
Tamika might not be as fluid in Wahite as I am. So I'm messing with you, Jamaica. So yeah, so Deepti and Shake had a little bit of, Shake reminded me of the Indian version of Shane.
Okay.
Like he was real immature. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was real immature. And so that immaturity was,
man, was he immature. Man, when he said, I feel like I'm with my aunt.
Right, he kept saying, oh, I feel like I'm with my auntie. I can't shake it.
Bruh, didn't you feel aunt vibes when you were speaking through the wall in the pod? Now you wait and see her. First thing you want to do is grab her behind, talking about how much you want to have sex with her. But then you like, hey, I'm getting auntie vibes.
But here's where I knew he was lying right from the start.
Okay.
I'm going to take you back to after they said I do in the pod.
Okay.
When they were walking down the little runway to meet each other for the first time.
Okay.
And remember I told you, that is one of the worst kisses I've ever seen in my life. That kiss to me told me that he was full of shit.
He was not sure about anything.
I don't even know if it's not even sure.
Well, but
I think he was. I think he wasn't. He wasn't all in right from the start. Right. He like Tamika said, he was superficial. He loved them white girls, and he was just gassing her up in the pod. And he thought, I don't know what he thought. He knew she was gonna be an Indian girl because they talked about it. But I think that kiss told me. Let me just say me. I won't speak for my mom.
Okay.
That kiss told me, bro, you really ain't sold on this. Because that's where he went to the. I feel like I'm doing my auntie. I think when he kissed her, and it wasn't like the wild girls going wild, white girl kiss like he was used to, like the girls he been used to. I think that's when he was like on some BS, and he never. To me, this is my opinion. Mm-hmm. He never bought into that relationship. Ever. Because now he can tell me anything.
From the time he met her, he kept saying, I'll never find nobody else like her in this lifetime. But
which, by the way, is true, because she was actually really good for him. Because she was smart, she was personable, she was honest. She's very authentic. First of all, I love Deepti. I think she's cool. She's good people.
She was what we call a homie lover friend.
Yeah, but that's what you want, ain't it?
It is. But see, he, with his spoiled.
You can say it.
Spoiled.
You can say it's adult show.
So spoiled that he felt that, he's always used to getting everything that he wants. And for him, the entire time kept saying, I don't feel a connection.
I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something else. I'm going to tell y'all something else. I don't think Shake thought Deepti was going to do what she did in the end. I think he thought he could play her
all the way.
Like, I'm so much better than her, and I'm so much, I'm Shake, and I can say what I want and do what I want and treat her like I want, and I'm the prize. I'm the prize. And I was like, no, bro, you what are you watching? Like, just because you got a great job in a halfway decent apartment, that don't make you the prize. That just makes you a dude with some money. So I don't.
Veterinarian.
Huh?
And he was a veterinarian.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He thought he was the prize. And I'm saying, no, bro, you should be, first of all, with all due respect to you, bro, you're basic.
I mean, he popped off like
he was just a basic looking Indian dude. But let him show it. Oh, I'm this and I'm that. Nah, bro, you ain't none of that.
I'm telling you,
you are none of that.
When at the wedding, when she said she choose herself, and he turned around and started talking to people, giving it the energy that was popping off of him was, well, it's okay, it's fine, it's no problem. Dude, it was more than
he was lying. Let me tell you something. So Mama Noah just disclosed it. She chose herself. She shut that thing down at the wedding. And I love the way she shut it down, which is a lesson for all of us. When you are being disrespected in the way that she was being disrespected, I just got chills thinking about what she did. When you are being disrespected in the way that she was disrespected, you're the problem. And here's what I mean by that. You can never let a person treat you less than what you're worth to be treated. That's facts. That's facts. And if a man is not celebrating you, if a man is not championing you, if a man is not trying to be your servant / your king / your security / your lover, if he's not trying to bring that kind of energy to it, he is not worth your time. Women, you are the prize.
Yeah.
Now we are a prize too. I would say you're the prize, we're the catch. Okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you understand the dynamics of what I'm saying.
Yeah.
She's a beautiful girl who was bringing a ton to the table. And if he can't see that, I love the way she shut that down. Bruh, I'm worth more than this. Mm-hmm. And if you can't see that, then no, I don't want to be. And she didn't give that fool an explanation. She didn't try to, let's talk later. I'm out. Peace. I love it. I love what she did.
I mean, when she said, I deserve
someone
who wants to be with me.
Come on, man.
What was trying to happen was you trying to be with someone that doesn't want to be with you. Why would you marry someone like that?
Especially if you know they lying. Because he was lying.
Be there, then bruh, let's not fool each other.
Y'all want, let's take it there. Deep from the time she left the pod to the day before the wedding was ready to sleep with him. Mm-hmm. He didn't want to give her the time of day. What kind of dude?
She said he ain't even trying to, even.
She was ready to do whatever. You could tell she was bringing that energy.
Yeah. And he was over talking about, I want to put all these babies in you and all this stuff.
And she's like, let me know what time you're going to be in the bedroom.
I'm ready for you to come through. But,
So, yeah, he was trash. I didn't like Shake. Shake was trash to me.
I kept trying to figure him out, man, but
he just
didn't make any sense.
He's just an arrogant, immature dude who thinks he thinks way higher of himself than he should have.
But I'm gonna tell you what I discovered is so far, most of the guys that were around these
Tamika, that's another way to say it.
They had full support. They fully supported him. Like they kept saying to Shake, hey man, are you sure this is
because of this though. Here's the other side of that. So the point of what you're saying is guys will rock with a dude like Shake. Some guys, I don't want a Shake in my crew. But some guys will rock with a Shake because Shake pays for the beers. Shake pays for the trips. Shake pays for the dinners. He's the party dude. We can go to Shake's house and kick it. Okay. He want to party all night. Just the same way he did at the end of when he got rejected. Come on, y'all, let's turn this into a party. We're going to be up all night. I'm going to go to Nobu's. I'm going to go do all this. Bruh, she embarrassed you.
That's right.
And you thought that thing was going to go different. Mm. And she justifiably clowned you in the way that you deserve.
I mean.
So you can fool us. You can think you fooling us. But we ain't fooled by that. Your boys might be fooled by that, but the rest of us know you played yourself.
You did.
So there you go. So I'm not a Shake fan, but I am a Mallory and Salvador fan.
Really?
I am, and I'll be honest with you. I was a little disturbed at how that ended. I was a little disturbed. I'm not saying it ended wrong. I'm just saying I'm a little disturbed by how it ended. So Mallory and Salvador is the only Hispanic couple. Mallory kind of came in a little weird because she was feeling Salvador, but she was also feeling my guy Jared, which we'll get to in a minute. And Jared was feeling her, but he was also feeling his girl. His second choice was Ayanna, right? So Mallory's, I would say this about Mallory. You tell me if you agree, and Tamika and everybody else that saw it, tell me if you agree.
Okay.
I think Mallory's loins, her loins, were saying Jared.
Really?
Right? She was saying, I want to really physically be with Jared. Emotionally, I should be with Salvador. Because Salvador is probably who I should be with, who my parents probably want me to be with. Because here's an unspoken thing that never got talked about on the show, but I bet you it was a factor. Jared's a black man.
Oh, black man.
He's a black man.
Okay.
The black man.
Okay.
And I think that was part of the problem.
Oh, now I felt that too.
I think that was part of the problem.
That she was, low key. She wanted to keep it within.
Yeah, Tamika. I think Mallory was like, I really want to get with this black dude, but I can't really take this black dude to the crib.
Right. I think she was huge on family.
Yeah, she's huge on family. So she's like, I gotta play this. I'm feeling both of them. Mm. I bet you this black dude is a big, fine, Esmo Mandingo swinging whatever. But I'm gonna go with Salvador because he's a safer choice. So when he got out of the pod,
if
go ahead.
He wasn't in the pod, if none of it was televised, please believe Mallory
never would have got Salvador would have got a chance.
Right, she'd have let him come through. They'd have been knocking each other off.
So the Salvador was good. On the pod was good for Salvador because at least gave him a fighting chance. Mm-hmm. And so I do think their engagement was real. I do think it was real. But here's the problem, though. Salvador, my guy. Number one, Salvador was kind of soft cupcakey.
I just couldn't take that.
He was like, that brother was crying all the freaking time. And then when he got in his feelings at the bar about her saying to Jared, if I'd have met Salvador, he couldn't shake that. He was like, really? You wouldn't have? Nah.
But see, I'm telling you, again, the alcohol had everybody coming spewing out their truth. When she said, we don't technically have to get married on this thing.
But what was throwing me was this. She slept with Salvador.
I still can't process that.
So I was like, why are you sleeping with this dude if you really ain't feeling him like that? But they was trying to build it, and he was catching her with the feels in the heart with the songs and he was giving her all that.
Really?
And then the truth started coming out. I knew that. I'm gonna tell you when I knew they was really in trouble. And this is gonna be a weird statement to make, but follow me, y'all. I knew they were in trouble when he made that dinner for them with the candlelight dinner and all that.
Was that before old girl, his ex, busted in?
Yes, it was before then. It was before then. Because he said, I just want to do something nice for you.
But I thought he was doing that to make up for
No. It was before that. Okay. It was before that. Okay. And I'm going to tell you why I said it was that moment. For me. You didn't do nothing wrong at the bar, bruh. You did nothing wrong. All you did was overhear what she said to Jared. Mm-hmm. So the fact that you felt like you had to go make up for something or make her feel better, bruh, Y'all ain't on the same page at
They-
all.
I just don't believe
That
it's on
threw
the
me.
same
I was
page.
like, what are you going? I mean, no disrespect to the gesture. The gesture was fantastic. Got the candles going. He made his little pasta meal, whatever that meal was.
Yeah.
All that was great. But you made it for the wrong reasons.
Mhm.
Like you did it to make her feel better. Bruh, you didn't do nothing wrong.
I don't know.
So what are you apologizing for? Why the apology meal and the apology presentation? I didn't understand that. So when that happened, that's when I personally knew they was in trouble.
Well, I think that once old girl showed up at the sister's house, if I understand it correctly,
Right.
and she showed up asking, where's Salvador? I thought, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, then he started trying to explain, like Ricky.
Right.
He started trying to explain, like, okay, no, I dated that relationship. Dude, she shows up now of all times. If you said it was a year ago, she shows up right now at this time.
But that goes back to what I said a minute ago. Bruh, you ain't done nothing wrong. You didn't call her over there. You didn't say, hey, X, come on through. I'm about to, tenderize your loins.
Yeah.
He didn't say that to that girl.
Mm.
And the way she flipped out, the reason, I'm going to tell you something. Here it is. Y'all ready? Breaking news.
Okay.
The reason why she flipped out on him like that is because she still had those feelings for Jared.
That's why she flipped out.
Let it sit on you for a minute. Let it sit on you for a second.
That's why she flipped out on
Because
Sal.
normally when somebody when they got their own thing they working through, they try to project that thing onto you. Woo! Give me y'all game. That's real. That's real. She tried to put those cheating feelings on to Sal like he was the one. But the whole time, Mallory wanted to be with Jared. I'm like Tamika. When Mallory saw Jared at the bar, she was like, dang. She knew she made a mistake. So from that moment on, that was always in the back of her mind. So that's why she flipped out on him.
I think she flipped out because she was looking for I think she was kind of looking for something to have as like a leverage because he already had the
bar. That's what I'm saying.
So now she could say, yeah, but you had old girl show up.
That's,
she said, and don't let that happen again because I'm letting you know you won't get a second chance.
Okay. Well, and that's what I'm saying to you. She was projecting what she was really going through onto him like he was the one having the problem. He wasn't having no problem. Salvador was clear the entire time of what he wanted. From the time he got into the pods, the first time he cried in the conversation, to the proposal with the wrong ring, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. I think, what do you say? Sal didn't see either. I think he dipped off on his girl. Oh, well, and went on this show.
The one that I told you about that showed up and popped out?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, you know what? We're going to find out at the reunion. Okay, you might be right, Tamika. I don't know. You might be right. He might be treacherous as well. But I felt like, I just go by the information I got. Okay. And I feel like Sal was real. Like he was really, and maybe he was, he had the girl but once he met Mallory, I think he wanted Mallory. That's what I guess that's what I'm saying. Okay. I don't think he was split in how he felt about Mallory. I could be wrong, but I don't think he was.
It seems like it's a pattern is that like Sal was, like Mallory was, I think Sal's this, but then she turned around and said to Jared, I just look so forward. It's almost like everybody was trying to straddle the fence, like there was none of them were just solely into the one. It was like, well, let me keep one foot over here on this side of the fence, just in case.
Well, I'm explaining that why I think that is the case. Okay. So let's keep in mind always, this is a TV show, right?
Yeah.
This is a TV show tied tremendously to social media. If you go to social media, you can see Love is Blind trending and all that stuff, right? So if you go back to season 1, the people that were on season 1, man, a lot of people got vilified in social media. I mean, they got ripped to shreds, like the gay dude that
Man.
or the bisexual dude that didn't tell old girl, he got ripped to shreds. Even the interracial couple, the black girl that was in a happily married relationship, she got ripped for marrying the white dude. So so a lot of people were thinking, man, I don't want to get played on this show.
Thrown smack dab into the court of public opinion.
Right. So I think part of Mallory's thing was, I don't want to get embarrassed on this show either. So, you trying to find the right situation that you don't end up looking like a fool, even though she ended up looking like a fool.
I think Tamika was saying that he should have. He was wrong. The bisexual dude should have told.
Oh, he was totally wrong. That dude. Listen,
After she started having feelings.
That dude was.
You want to say, what? I got something to tell you.
Yeah, that dude was totally wrong. He asked her to marry him before.
Divulge that through the wall in the pod.
Facts, big facts. But anyway, all right, which brings us to our final couple, my favorite couple, not just because they're black, but just because I'm really digging them.
Yeah, you ready to
listen.
You said if he breaks my heart, I'm coming to the screen.
Listen, I ain't gonna hold you. But Ayana felt like one of my kids. And I was like, with all due respect, bruh, Jared, if it's up, I'm coming for your neck, bruh. Because Ayana had already been through a lot, and you could tell. Now, I think out of all the ladies there, Ayana, to me, by far the most sincere to the process than anybody else. She truly came in there to find one guy, to find love, to find an opportunity to get married the whole night. She was all in. Now, Tamika, you got to explain that. You got to explain what you just said. We'll get to it in a minute, but you got to explain what you just said. I know
exactly what she's talking about. She's saying that since Jared want to try to come to Ayana after he said that, if I was to ask you to marry me, what would you say?
We was talking to Mallory. Right.
And Mallory was like, I would have to say no. And you over crying and everything. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. You over sobbing and everything. You got to walk out the room. Right. You got to get you something to drink and all this other stuff. And then, in other words, I ain't leaving this program without no wife. So next in line is Ayana.
And I totally.
Ayana kept saying throughout the whole part, I feel like you chose me. I was your second choice.
Right.
And it's like, bruh, if I wasn't your first choice, why should you come in here and try to ask me to marry you? Like, okay, if one don't work out, then here's the second choice. Like you kept saying about Sal or whatever. I feel like that second choice would always be hanging there in her mind that, he chose me as a second choice.
Well, let me say this though. And I don't disagree with anything that you said or what Tamika said. And I understand why you would say she shouldn't have said yes, because initially I was thinking, don't be the second choice. Get out of there, But then I thought about this. A couple of things. I'm certainly not defending Jared, because I'm probably more Team Ayana than I am Team Jared.
Okay.
I think, number one, he didn't technically ask. He got right to the line of asking Mallory.
He said, what would you say?
Right. That's what I'm saying. He got to the line. He got way closer than he should have.
I disagree. I think I would ask.
Oh, I ain't gonna call it.
What would you say if that's no different than what you say, boo. If I ask, would you say I do?
Here's why I say it's different. Because until you ask, you ain't asked. I'm just being honest. Until you ask, you ain't asked.
Well, then don't even get in
Because it's no different than couples who go out to eat. They've been dating a long time. And one of the guys says, baby, I'm really feeling you. I'm thinking about marriage. I'm really starting to think we should do this. Like, what would you say if I asked? That's the way I took that. Now, I'm going to say this. That is a very, listen, once you put that out there, it is almost the direct equivalent of asking, even though it's not asking. So I'm telling you, Jared looked crazy for doing what he did. Like, he looked crazy. But I think also here's the weird part about their relationship. It comes across like Jared was there to save Ayanna. The truth is, Ayanna was there to save Jared.
Okay.
Ayanna is the best thing that ever happened to Jared. Because Ayanna is going to force Jared to be the black man that he is capable of being.
Oh, now I believe that. Especially when his sister came in there and said, hey, man, I need you to understand something.
Yeah.
Ain't going to be you got to cut out all that. Are you prepared to do that? Because remember, when they moved in together, he was still trying to go to the club.
Right. Well, but here's what I see in Ayanna, because this is the part that Jared didn't understand what he was getting. He said it, but he didn't understand it. He told his daddy, oh, one of the things I like about Ayanna, she's so strong. Bruh, you have no idea how strong she is. She ain't no punk. What you're not going to do is walk all over her. Mm-hmm. So she would have walked away from that if she felt like this wasn't going to go right. And I feel like she still might walk away if he feel like she go right. Like Tamika said, she heard it out together. Well, listen, that wouldn't surprise me because Ayanna's not a punk. Mm. She ain't no soft cupcake chick. She's a real chick. She's a real, she's solid. So she's in it for a real marriage, real relationship, the real.
But she also told him that from the beginning. That look, this is not a game to me.
It's not a game. And if you come in with that game energy, I'm about to be out.
If you still out here trying to rip and run, as my mama say, then you need to go on and stay on out there.
So I was happy they made it to the end. Now, it's going to be interesting, like you said, Tamika, if they have already broken up, it's going to be interesting to see why, if they are broken up.
I would tell you, first of all, I'm in total agreement with Tamika is when she saw it, when she got a chance to see the video of Jared's response to Mallory saying no, when he says, if I was to ask you, and how he just he fell apart like a bunch of Legos and just sobbing and stuff as if he asked her to marry him and that she said no.
Well, I ain't gonna lie.
And then to turn around and then to see the video to see how all of a sudden he changed lanes and then came to Ayanna. But now one thing I will give to him is he told Ayanna exactly, listen, he said, I told her, what would you say?
Yeah, he was honest. He was honest about it.
He was upfront. He didn't have to tell her nothing.
Right.
He could have said, I ain't gonna say
he really did.
Mallory.
He really did because like you just said, and like Tamika just said, this show is coming out at some point.
Right. He could have been like, you know what, Mallory don't say nothing, I ain't gonna say nothing. But
yeah, no, this show is definitely coming out.
It a buck, so.
I am very curious to see what her thought process is coming out of the pods and the marriage and all that stuff. And after she watched Netflix and saw the show itself. So anyway, come on. My wife be so, you can't be business minded all the time.
Always.
No, we on the show live.
Go ahead. Nobody knew nothing but you.
I knew. Because I'm trying to make a comment on
go ahead.
You distracted me. You distracted me. I was like, what are you doing? Like, okay. All right. Anyway, the point that we were trying to make very clearly is I thought the show was a fantastic exercise in the sociological experiment of what love can and can't be. So I'll ask you this closing question, Mama Noise. Mm-hmm. Do you think love is blind? And yes, I agree, Tamika. Ayanna's mama was gonna whoop Jared's ass, and still made it.
She kept saying, "Don't make me come for you."
The father, I was gonna say the father would, but he was kind of soft, man.
Anyway,
it was kind of soft. Soft acting. I ain't gonna say he was soft. He was soft acting. He was like. I don't know. He was just, I don't know. I was just a weird little look. But anyway, I ain't gonna question that situation. That ain't my question.
Okay.
He was just kind of, he was giving out real.
Okay, you.
Okay, is love blind? That's the question I asked. We're gonna close on that.
Is love blind?
Yeah.
It can be.
Okay.
It can be.
Okay.
I mean, we are examples that it can be.
Okay. All right.
We dated for 30 days and were engaged to be married.
But we were never blind in that time.
But I mean, at any moment you could have said, you know what? This girl that's been calling me, let me go holler at her. Let me go on out to the club with her. Let me go on. You didn't do that.
Yeah, but I don't think but I didn't marry you blindly either. I knew exactly what I was marrying. I know who I was marrying.
But in today's society, getting engaged after 30 days, getting married after 90 is just totally unheard of.
I don't disagree with that.
Folk nowadays be like, well, we've been dating for 5 years.
Right. I don't disagree with that. I would not say that love is blind. I would say that attraction can be blind. That you can go in blindly attracted to someone and think that you have one thing, and then as it develops into love, you discover that it's something else, and then you have to decide. I think love is a choice, man. It's a choice.
So
you have
that
to
means
choose.
There's no love at first sight. If love can't be blind, then there is no love at first sight.
I struggle with the love at first sight thing because I don't know. I've heard people say that. I've heard people say, man, the first time I saw her, I knew. I feel you, dog. I don't know how you pull that out, but if it worked for you, okay.
You saw me. You didn't say, "Oh my God."
I didn't. I thought you were fine. I was like, damn, she fine the but I didn't know I didn't. Yeah, lust at first sight. I can get on board with that. I wouldn't say that my first thought was I'm gonna marry you when I saw you. Mm-hmm. My first thought was, wow, she's ridiculously beautiful. And I was very much intrigued. Now, as I got to know you quickly, I realized that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with you. Mm-hmm. And next week, we will celebrate. Actually, next Saturday, when I still do, we will be celebrating our 23rd wedding anniversary. So come holler at us next week on that. But or not, I don't know.
And then we'll open up for questions.
Yeah, we may open up for questions next week to celebrate our 23rd. But I'll say this: I think you can't go into love blindly, because the propensity to crash is stronger the less and less you see. So if you try to go in blindly, and here's the danger, here's the most dangerous part of what we're talking about. Okay. The more blind you try to make yourself to the realities of what is taking place in front of you, the more apt you are to crash. And I think that's what we saw in these couples. You know, they couldn't look past. They kept trying to ignore obvious red flags.
Oh, snap.
And so
I think you said something.
Well, I'm trying to, man. I'm trying to.
That could be the bottom line. Of the whole thing overall.
Yeah. When somebody shows you who they are, you need to believe them. And now you need to start asking yourself really, really tough questions. Now that I see who you really are, is that something that I can put up with or live with or even marry? That's tough. That's not an easy thing to do. Yeah. So I think that's where the problem lies in the whole thing. Mm-hmm. You can't go in blindly. You just can't do that. That's not wisdom to go in blind. You need to know what you're getting into. Because you're not building a fake marriage. You're not building a reality show marriage. You're building a marriage. Because when the cameras go off and the lights go off, you still got to be married to this person. Legally, these people are legally married.
Right.
So, you need to do it the right way. So that was my final thoughts on Love is Blind. So this was fun. Again, we're not reality show people. We don't do this on a regular basis. So if you come to this website, we probably not going to talk about reality shows all the time. That ain't what we do. But we do try to talk about our marriage and other marriages and stuff that we see that's interesting. And we talk about marriage topics, relationship topics. We try to give the wisdom of our experiences to the peoples. So take that for what it's worth. But I love you guys and we appreciate you. Want to make sure you know that today VNR Supper Club is going to do their thing. That is going to be at 6 p.m. And man, I apologize because I was supposed to load up the ladies' night clip and I didn't load it, so I apologize. But it's ladies' night on VNR Supper Club. So pull up on here and watch the ladies. We're gonna have a great discussion with the ladies tonight. It's gonna be fun on VNR Supper Club, so don't miss that. And then later on tonight, we crown the most beautiful Black man and Black woman, celebrity Black man, celebrity Black woman, according to our opinions and scoring. And you can the help of the noisemaker. And the help of the noisemaker. You guys can join Tamika. We'd love to have you come back tonight, 9 p.m., 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. We're going to have a lot of fun. Uncorked Wine is just an amazing show, so y'all don't want to miss that. So come holler at your peoples, and we're going to have a good time tonight. And, man, this was fun. Thank you, Mama Noise, for getting me involved in this amazing social experiment called Love is Blind. It was fun.
Oh, you know you get all the credit.
I don't get no credit.
No, you get the credit.
I don't want credit.
No, you get the credit.
I'm not doing that with you. Y'all be good. Peace out.
You should have believed.